How you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today, I'm doing Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing and Spider-Man. Okay, this is this was just a big deal when this came out. This is King Size Annual number 2. So this is the annual issue. This the annuals come out once a year, hence the name annual, and they're bigger sized. So this is 1977. The comics were like, I think they were 30 cents or 35 cents at the time, so 60 cents for a double-sized issue. This is like the climactic conclusion that was in Avengers Annual number 7. So if you get Avengers Annual number 7 and Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 2, you get the whole story. But this, excuse me, everybody knows Thanos. Everybody knows the Soul Gem from the Marvel movies, so this was a big deal. And I remember getting this. I remember going to a 7-Eleven by my house, and I was in the 7-Eleven with my parents, and they were like buying milk and whatever, and this was just on the spinner rack. And I was like, "Can I get this?" And I think they said, "No, we don't have any money. Let's go." And then the next day after school, I didn't spend my lunch money, and I came in, and it was still there, and I got it. And I'm so glad. So this is my actual copy. You can see it's a little beat up. I never got like a collector copy because this is fine enough. I don't particularly need all my comic books to be in super mint condition, but some of them when they're just so beat up, I like to replace them. But here we go. This is pretty good. So let's go through this. Okay, I already told you I got the spinner, the pizzazz. Yeah, that's supposed to be Stan Lee. Yeah. Yeah. So here we go. Is The Thing and Spider-Man together. So Marvel 2-in-1, for those who do not know, was a team-up book. And every month, The Thing from the Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm, he would team up with another superhero. There was another team-up book called Marvel Team-Up, which was Spider-Man and another superhero. So this is Spider-Man and The Thing. And this is by Jim Starlin. Joe Rubinstein. So Jim Starlin is doing the writing and the art, and Joe Rubinstein is doing the inking, the finished art. When they say the finished art, that usually means just a little bit more than that actual ink. So like Jim Starlin's probably just doing layouts and some sketch, and Joe Rubinstein's actually doing all the details in the inking. So Net K is the letter. I have no idea. Petra G. This is the second time I've seen Petra G as the color, so I don't know who that is. And Archie Goodwin, the editor. So this was right before I think the Jim Shooter years. Oh, and let's look at the indicia. Let's see. Yep, Volume 1, Number 2, 1977 issue. Okay, there's no subscription because it only comes out once a year. So this is Peter Parker, Death Watch, and this is Thanos' ship, and he's having dreams. He's having troubled dreams. There's the splash page. For those of you who don't know, splash page is usually the opening page, but not necessarily the first page in a comic. That just sets up the story. It's one big panel, and just to set up all the action, and just to give you a quick overview at a glance. So here we have the first page. This is recapping Avengers Annual number 7. So here we have the Avengers rushing off to fight Thanos. That's Adam Warlock. I think he's going to be in future Marvel movies. A big deal. Here we have Moondragon, Captain Marvel, the Vision, Captain America, Thor, Scarlet Witch, and the Beast. And they're fighting all of all of Thanos' like alien minions. So these are all a collection of aliens. We've seen that Thanos had aliens in his when he invaded the Earth in Infinity War. So here's Captain Marvel and Adam Warlock. They're just flying to do some damage, and Thor and Iron Man, and that's Thanos' ship. So here we have Thanos in his full-on costume, with his helmet and everything like that, blasting everybody. So who is Adam Warlock? Okay, so let's start with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock was a creation of a group called the Conclave, and to be honest, I can't really give you more information about that. The Conclave was like a shadowy organization, and they used super science to create like this ultimate being, and they called him. And this cocoon was formed, and absorbed cosmic energy and got more and more powerful, and then the cocoon broke and this golden being came out. So he was created on Earth by like super scientists. For what purposes, I don't recall. But he was vastly super powerful, and he's supposed to be like the ultimate, supreme being. And he quickly fought Thor, and then and Thor beat him because it was Thor's comic, and he went off to do his own business. So right from the get-go, he could fly. He was super strong. He could survive in space. So he was immensely powerful. He was kind of a forgotten character until Jim Starlin, who loves all this cosmic stuff, brought him back, called him Adam Warlock, and he went to Counter Earth. Counter Earth was another planet that is an exact copy of Earth on the other side of the sun, so we can't see it. We can't directly observe it because it's, when we're over on point A, it's exactly opposite on point B with the sun being in the middle. And that was created by the High Evolutionary, a scientist who evolved himself to. He used evolutionary science to evolve himself, became like immensely super powerful. And the High Evolutionary could. Sometimes you see him, his power is off the scale. Sometimes he's just a guy in armor, but that's because he tweaks his brain. He evolves himself, de-evolves himself, whatever. And he made Counter Earth to make like a paradise, to show like this is how it's done. And Adam Warlock moved to Counter Earth, and he pretty much became like their Jesus. He was their savior. He went to Counter Earth and like sacrificed himself, but of course he's cosmic energy, and he came back to life and everything. So it was a pretty cool story. So there you go. So this is a recap. They're fighting Thanos, and what do they do? They're fighting Thanos, and Thanos is collecting the Infinity Stones here. And at this point, he's just focusing on the Soul Gem. So this whole battle is just to get the Soul Gem, and the Soul Gem, for whatever reason, is really big. So as he's fighting, Iron Man just destroys it, and that kind of ruins what Thanos' plans. And here they are. Thanos just goes berserk and unleashes energy and like kind of defeats them all. So as he's being defeated, Moondragon, the daughter of Drax, and she is a physical perfection as well as mental perfection. So she is like Captain America in that her body is perfect, and she's a supreme martial artist, and she uses like space kung fu, and she has mental powers. So she reaches out with her mental powers for backup help, and she gets Peter Parker in his sleep. So Peter Parker is the cavalry to the rescue. So here they are in Thanos' ship. Thanos is gloating, and they're tracking down the last of the Avengers. So here, Moondragon, because she's projecting, she's distracted, she gets hit by this guy. Thanos blasts the Vision. One of the aliens shoots Captain America. And here's Wanda getting just a punch to the face. So now they're all defeated. And here's Thanos. And who is Thanos? Thanos, as you know from the movies, the Thanos from the comics is a little different. Thanos wasn't born on the planet Titan. He was born on the moon Titan. The Titan being the satellite that orbits Saturn. And there's a hidden society of Eternals. And who are the Eternals? Well, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But Eternals are basically being created by the Celestials and given godlike powers, and most of them stayed on Earth, but like a philosophical difference between Zuras and his brother Mentor. Mentor took a bunch of his followers, and they left the Earth entirely and settled on Titan, created a domed hidden city, and that's where they lived. And then Mentor had two children. One of them was Thanos meaning death, and he had another son named Eros being life, where Eros was handsome and popular and outgoing and everybody liked him. Thanos was the first ugly being born to the Eternals, and he was shunned and despised, and that throughout his childhood that formed his personality. And I guess when you name your kid Thanos, what do you expect? So he hates his twin brother, he hates his parents, he hates everybody. The only thing he likes is this personification of death. So he is the ultimate serial killer. He wants to kill and kill and kill to get the notice of the personification of death, which he's infatuated with. And because it's death, she'll never be satisfied, so he constantly kills and kills and kills. So this is before I think the concept of the Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff, but he's getting the soul gem. The soul gem will give him the power over souls. So I think this is like one of the, I think like a couple years later, the whole like, I'll get all the Infinity Gems and become all powerful. So this is just stumbling around, making himself vastly powerful. And he's already super powerful to begin with. So here he is fighting Thor and Iron Man and Captain Marvel, and they're all defeated. And of course, you're the greatest serial killer who ever existed. You're not going to kill them all. You're going to put them in an easily escapable status field, because that's what supervillains do. But look at that. There's the Beast. And again, this is like the Avengers when I first started collecting comics. So everybody remembers their first girlfriend. Everybody remembers their first car. I remember my first comics. I did a Batman video. This is my Batman. But these are my Avengers. So he beats up Adam Warlock and degrading him. And Adam Warlock is everything Thanos despises. He's noble. He's virtuous. He's self-sacrificing, and of course Thanos hates him. So he's been guarding the soul gem. So he's been holding and wearing the soul gem on his forehead, and he takes it out. Even though it was broken, I guess Adam Warlock... No. That was an artificial amplifier that he built around the soul gem so he could use its power. Because, the Infinity Stones are supposed to be infinitely powerful, but this was before the concept of the Infinity Stones. This was just the soul gem. And then later on, they kind of made up that there was 5 more stones. So the soul gem was the first one that we've seen, and it was just the soul gem. So Thanos didn't know how to tap into its potential. So he created a big version, like as a casing to amplify its powers, because he couldn't tap into its powers because he didn't know. I don't think he understood exactly what it was. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So now he's looking at the soul gem because the amplifier was broken, but he still has the actual gem. So he wakes up, wow. So he got all that recap from Moondragon. So he's like, I'm not equipped for this. I'm only a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So this goes badly. So here we have these 2 cosmic beings. This is Lord Order, and this is Master Chaos. Lord Order, Master Chaos. And they are just abstract concepts given embodiment. And they are like 2 of the most powerful beings that exist in the universe. Like they could defeat Galactus, they could beat the Watcher, they could beat Thanos, and of course they're so powerful, they're aloof, and they just discuss things, and they kind of like, chaos will win, order will win, chaos will win, order will win, and then they're just watching. So I think it's finally, he needs an ally, Ben Grimm. Let's hope they are enough. So even these 2 who are normally aloof and stay out of it, they're subtly influencing the superheroes, because even they are threatened by Thanos' schemes. If Thanos kills all life in the universe, then these 2 have no purpose or existence or whatever. So here comes Spider-Man swinging through the city, always talking. I guess he's on the Chrysler Building. Yeah, that's the Chrysler Building. And then he makes his way to the Baxter Building, and there's Ben Grimm reading Salem's Lot, and he touches him on the head, and Ben swallows it because he gets scared because he's reading Salem's Lot. Because Spider-Man, I should have known. Hiya, Benji. Don't Benji me, you no good insect. But do you have any idea how much that cigar you just made me swallow cost, or how bad it tasted? So he's telling him we need help. Shut up. We need help. You're the only person I know that could get us into space. You're a pilot. The Fantastic Four has a ship. There's the torpedo. Captain Marvel knows how to defeat people with Twinkies. Yeah. That's so. They're drinking coffee, and then they go to. Of course, Reed Richards got an experimental warp ship just laid in the middle of Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan. So they're flying off. Don't get Reed Richards. Don't get the Human Torch. Don't get the Invisible Woman. But because this is Marvel 2-in-1, so we got two characters in one comic. So now they're flying off to Thanos' ship. He knows where to go because of the direction that Moondragon sent to him. So this is Thanos' ship, and look at all the other alien ships that are just orbiting around it. And I think in Avengers Annual number 7, he actually used this ship to destroy a star. So that'll show you how powerful Thanos' ship is. So they get caught in the tractor beam. The freaky aliens come out. Things just beating the crap out of everything. Spider-Man's jumping around. And look they're just doing short work of the aliens. I mean, I always thought that the Thing was one of the just an unstoppable juggernaut. Just so cool. Spider-Man, I'd like to point out, and this is always a debate, Spider-Man is vastly powerful. In Secret Wars, he beat the entire X-Men. So I think Spider-Man just doesn't take himself too seriously. But an enraged, focused Spider-Man has got to be one of the most dangerous superheroes on the planet. And I'll say the same thing with the Thing. And back in the the 90s when message boards were big, one of the big things in message boards were versus who would win in a fight. Thing versus whatever. And there was always Batman, and there was this one guy who Batman could beat anybody. Batman can beat anybody. And I used to say I agree. Batman can beat anybody with prep time. If Batman knows who he's going in to fight and prepares, that's Batman's thing. Is he knows he's human, he knows he's limited, so he'll figure out your weaknesses. But all of a sudden, just out of surprise, you throw Batman in the ring with the Thing. There's no way. The Thing is going to smash Batman. Spider-Man is going to bash Batman. But Superman is going to bash Batman. But given kryptonite or whatever, if with prep time. So that was always like my qualifier. Did he have time to prepare? Was there prep time? If prep time, well, anybody could beat anybody else. So, whatever. So Thanos is watching the fight, and it's not going his way, so he turns off the artificial gravity, which I could understand messing up the Thing, but it shouldn't mess up Spider-Man, but it does. So I guess it stuns him, and he shoots him with a gun that goes next. And here, order and chaos are a little like, oh no, what do we do? Well, so how are we gonna win this? So he goes inside the soul gem. So Adam Warlock was killed, and his soul was absorbed by the soul gem in a previous comic, and that was actually a wonderful comic. So Adam Warlock was faced with his greatest foe, not Thanos, but the Magus. And who is the Magus? Well, the Magus was Adam Warlock from the future. 500 years or 1,000 years in the future, he becomes this despot that rules the galaxy with an iron fist, the Magus, and he's vastly powerful. So what Adam Warlock does is he sends some sort of message to himself, and his past version comes to himself. So now we have Adam Warlock from the past, Adam Warlock from the present, and then Adam Warlock from the future. They all, the past and present meet, and the past one kills the present one, and then puts him in the soul gem, thus making it so that the Magus can never exist. So Adam Warlock killed himself rather than become the Magus, which definitely is going to mess up with time. So I already spoiled the movie, because if the movie has Adam Warlock and they don't have that story, then they don't have Adam Warlock's defining story. That's one thing I said in the Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider never had a defining story. Adam Warlock's defining story was the Magus paradox, without a doubt. Captain Marvel, the new Brie Larson, she doesn't have a defining story as of yet. So there we go. So here's inside the soul gem. That's Gamora. That's what Gamora looks like in the comics. That's Pip the Troll. Thank God they left him out of the movie, because I've always hated Pip the Troll. He was the humorous sidekick, the diminutive humorous sidekick. I always hate that. And this is Adam Warlock's costume. How 70s can you get? The big collar, shorts, short sleeves. It's just so. Inside the soul gem, he's having an idyllic existence. It's like an afterlife. And these are other beings that are Adam Warlock absorbed their souls. When he first took the soul gem, I definitely believe it was inspired by Michael Moorcock and Elric of Melniboné with Stormbringer. There's no way Jim Starlin didn't read those books. He couldn't control the soul gem, and when he was fighting people, the soul gem would activate and steal people's souls. And when he absorbed their souls, he got more power as he absorbed. And that's the same thing that Elric of Melnibone's Black Blade Stormbringer would do. So these are other aliens that he did that to, and they're all living in this paradise of his soul gem. So this, that's another dimension, if you want to call it that, the afterlife. So here's Thanos gloating, and what a revolt in development. The thing's waking up, and notice that the greatest serial killer, mass murderer, whatever you want to call him, hasn't killed any of the actual people who could defeat him. I mean, kill Thor at least. But they kind of made this later on. Jim Starlin, when he revisited Thanos, Jim Starlin created Thanos, so he pretty much said that Thanos' weakness is himself. He always makes it so that he is defeated by himself. Nobody defeats Thanos but himself. And it's kind of true. He looked back at all the times Thanos was defeated, and he realized that Thanos left the means to be defeated, not through anybody else. So there you go. So here he is monologuing, talking about the soul gem, and showing him its power and destroy all life in your solar system. With the soul gem, the power will be focused on your sun, causing it to go nova and destroy all life in your solar system. Good heavens, man. Why? Why? For death, of course. And this, to me, made Thanos, I said this before in another comic that I showed Thanos, makes him a more scary villain. He cannot be satisfied. The Infinity War, it was great to look at as a great spectacle, but Endgame was horrible. I know, say what you want, whatever, but Endgame, that whole time travel story was weak. But Infinity War was excellent, with the exception of Thanos' motivation. Once you get the Infinity Stones, and if you care about the resources of the universe and stuff like that, just make it infinite resources. You're God. Rewrite reality. Make it so that living things only have offspring once every 100 years or something like that. Or limit on the amount of life that can exist without killing. He had infinite possibility. I'm going to make half, and then that's going to make what? It's going to take 100 years before you have that problem again. It's just so stupid. But this Thanos is scary. He's obsessed. He's infatuated with this concept of death, and he's trying to please her, and she ignores him because does she really exist? Who knows? So he's just obsessed, and he's going to kill. And every time death ignores him, he ups the scale. So now he's going to destroy all life in the solar system. What's next? The whole galaxy? He's just a madman who cannot be satisfied. That's scary. That's a scary villain. So Thing is just like, enough's enough, and goes up and just pastes someone. I love Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm, the Thing. This is purpose. He's the cornerstone of the Fantastic Four. He's the heart. He is. I always say this concept of a Pinocchio. A Pinocchio is a character that's not human, and wants to be human so bad that he reminds everybody else of humanity. Hellboy is a Pinocchio. The Thing is a Pinocchio. Atomic Robo, if you ever read that, he's a Pinocchio. But the Thing to me is the ultimate Pinocchio. He just wants to be a real boy, and he values humanity more than everybody. Like Human Torch will take it for granted because he never lost it, but he lost it, and he wants to recapture it. So he always, the crusty outside, gooey inside. That's what he is. He outside, literally, he's covered in stone, because he's the most sensitive member of the group, and things hurt him. And there's so many stories of the Thing quitting and breaking up with his girlfriend because he doesn't feel he deserves her, because he is so sensitive. So he doesn't just have physical armor, he's always putting up emotional armor, because he is the goodest of the good of most of the heroes, but definitely the Fantastic Four. Whereas Reed Richards could be utilitarian, the Thing will pull him aside and remind him of the humanity. And I just love that dynamic. And here he punches Thanos, and Thanos ain't having any of that, and blasts the Thing unconscious. And Spider-Man says, like, what am I going to do? I fight buggers. So Spider-Man panics. He literally panics. He goes, there's nothing in the Spider-Man manual about fighting star-bursting demigods. I don't belong here, and I'm not going to stay. What are you doing? Leaving. This is the Avengers hassle. They know how to get out of these situations, don't they? They'll save the day, won't they? Guards, after that craven costume clown. Bring me back. And this isn't a goof. He actually panicked and left. Now what do I do? Where do I go? Even if I make it back to the thing ship, I'd never figure out how to fly it. Because I can't stay here. All I will accomplish is getting killed by sticking around. So he's just freaking out and panicking and running away. Now, he's battling these alien guards because he has to. He has no choice. He's trapped on a spaceship. And here he is just taking them out. Because like I keep saying, Spider-Man is a powerhouse. I really don't like how they kind of make him like this wimpy character in Modern World. He is, look at that. He's just super. Okay, guns and muscles. That's what you want when back in the 70s, you want guns, you want muscles. And here's Master Order and Chaos, just like, oh man, we backed the wrong horse here, whatever. And Spider-Man now is like, was it not us who chose to endow him with the destiny of being Spider-Man? So they're, Order and Chaos are basically saying that they create everything in the universe and lay out the paths. This is definitely Jim Starlin stuff. Do we have free will? Because these guys are like basically gods, planning out and mapping all the universe. So Spider-Man gets his courage back and goes back. So he's like, Spider-Man is a wimp. He ran out. He goes, now I'll take out my vanquish on my respected foes. So Spider-Man's like, oh, I'll just smash it and have it with something heavy. So myself. So he's jumping through Thanos' equipment. And what that does is that wakes up the Avengers. Because don't kill him, Thanos. And that just is one of the things that Jim Starlin, when talked about, why didn't Thanos just kill the Avengers? And I think that's like where the light bulb, because Thanos is his own worst enemy. So the Avengers get woken up by the selfless actions of Spider-Man, who basically took himself out, getting shocked or whatever. So here they are. What is the Beast going to do? So they're coming at him. And there's my boy Benji jumping up. He's got the back to him. And then I teach myself guitar. So let's look at the ads for a second. We got guns, muscles, and guitar. Man, 70s were fun, guys. 70s were fun. You youngins, you have no idea. All right, and here they are. Just dogpile them on. His energy fists. He's just swatting them around, and they're just fighting them. And what is he saying over here? Even now, my army of thralls is rushing to my sides. Together, we shall deal with you as I should have done originally. Take no prisoners. You heard the man, Avenger. It's do or die time. So tear into them good. So Captain America's basically saying, murder, kill them. Take them out. The stakes are too high. Hey, Purple Puss, remember me? I'm the bashful blue-eyed thing. Come for a piece of your tail. Go get him, Benji. Look at that. He's just Captain Joke out over here. As for Thor, the god of thunder. Boom! So here, look at Thanos. He's getting... Don't hit him with the hammer, Thor. He's punching him while the thing is just trying to choke him out. And Thanos is... He ain't weak. Okay, and look at that. Look at that nice splash page. You got Captain Marvel going around over here, dealing with winged freaks. The Vision is just... remember I told you the Vision could phase through people? So he just phases his hand through people and then solidifies it. And then the pain just takes him out. Captain America over here. I'm trying to find everybody. That alien looks like... I can't find Scarlet Witch. Spider-Man looks like he's probably still stunned. And he has the Beast kicking, I don't know who that is, just some random alien. Captain America fighting. Iron Man just clobbering. Oh, look at that. They're just taking them out. Captain Marvel just bashing people. That's Moondragon using her space karate. She's arrogant and she's disturbed in her own way. But even she knows that Thanos, she's not a bad person. She started out as a villain and she realized, okay, I'm getting a little carried away. And Avengers reluctantly took her in. But she respects Captain Marvel, and she understands that Thanos is a threat. So the Vision, they're kind of doing it wrong. Vision doesn't have eye beams. He has a solar jewel that fires heat bits. So this is just I guess Jim. I keep one of the previous videos I kept saying Jim Shooter instead of Jim Starlin, but this is actually a mistake. He doesn't have eye beams. He doesn't have heat vision. He has a ray that comes out of the solar jewel. This jewel is super solar panel that absorbs solar energy and powers the Vision, and he could release his power to tire himself out. So this is a little error. I could get myself a no prize by explaining it away, but I can't come up with a concept. So the Thing and Thor. I mean, come on, man. Who could stand up to the Thing and Thor? Well, apparently Thanos can. So he's just smashing with energy, and look at Thor. It's just he's getting he's thumbing the Thing. Then Thor katams him, and then Karakum. So here they are, timing their blows together. Look at tumbling Thanos. That's just good fight. Fools, your combined blows merely served to gain me the distance needed to turn my destructive eye beams on you. Die, life-loving simpletons. So here he is, just blasting them away. Look at Thor over here. Look at the anguish. The Thing, let's just look at things already down. Here comes Spider-Man all groggy. He redeemed himself. He panicked. Spider-Man's, like I said, fighting Thanos in space is a little different than the Green Goblin, So he's getting up, and here he is. One of the aliens got a gun on him. York, what does he say? Yeah, for some unspeakable reason, I've got this feeling that everything depends on what I do next. See, here's Chaos and Order. They're doing something they haven't done in like eternity. They get directly involved, so they're like giving Spider-Man a little nudge. You are correct in that assumption, mortal, but your sole responsibility is not your burden. There is another. Mere yards and a world away. My head, Adam, what's wrong? Being pulled, forced, dragged down from the gem, being called back to reality for one last task. So he's dead, and he's living paradise because he loves Gamora, not Star-Lord. Gamora loves Adam Warlock, not Star-Lord. And they're dead, and they're okay with it. They're living in paradise. Let the living live. They're going to be the eternity in the Soul Gem. And he's like, what's going on? What's going on? Because one last mission of vengeance. And there's order. The final layer is primed. It only now remains for the intermediary Spider-Man to facilitate his release. So my old Spider-Sense go crazy. I saw that goon attacking. He goes, wait, it feels different. It's like it's leading me towards something. So Spider-Man is going. Where is he going? Where's he going? And the Lord Order and Lord Chaos are hoping beyond hope. And candy bars and muscles. So Spider-Man's just battling his way through everybody. He gets clobbered by this. Look at that freak. Spider-Man, get out of here. He's not giving up because he's got his focus now. He had his moment of doubt. He panicked, but he's redeeming. And what does he do? He swats the Soul Gem. Now, the Soul Gem is in this like sphere of energy or whatever, and he breaks. I did it. He doesn't know what, but he did it. And that releases Adam Warlock. And remember, Adam Warlock is vastly powerful. He's like the supreme being, created by mortals, but he's supreme being, and then he evolved. Look at Thanos. It cannot be you. I saw you die. I killed you. That's terror. This guy is one. I'm talking about Shaft. So he's all golden, and stay back. He goes, what does he say? You have succeeded in releasing me, the ultimate Avenger. Thanos knows me and my purpose. Is that not so, evil one? He goes, by the great nebula, it cannot be you. I saw you die. I killed you. Look at that panic. And Thor's over here all beaten up. Thing is like, what's going on? Spider-Man is like, oh, okay, I did it. That you did, vile serpent. Yet I could not rest until you remained a threat to my universe. Right? He's claiming the universe. No, stay back. You can't stop me now. Not now. And boom. Adam Warlock, the god from the machine, right? The god from the gem. He turns Thanos to stone. Thanos is dead. Adam Warlock goes back to his death state, and everybody's like, huh? All the aliens are like, we give up. We're putting our hands up, our tentacles up, and the Avengers round everybody up. Now that they've beaten disarm them, what will we do with them? Probably release them. What? Are you got to be kidding? What would you suggest doing with them? Imprison them on Earth for their crimes? Think of all the problems that would cause. Yeah, I guess you're right. So, get back in your ships and get out of here. And remember, Earth kicked Thanos' butt. So, stay away from Earth. That's a pretty good threat. And they find this asteroid, and they make graves. Gamora, Pip, Adam Warlock. And use magic science to make this eternal flame. And Captain Marvel gives a lecture, which is kind of foreboding because he will be the fourth grave in a couple of years, maybe 2 years after this. He dies, and they do the same thing. And unlike everybody else, he's the only one who stayed dead. He still, and he will stay dead because Carol Danvers took his name, and they invested too much in Carol Danvers to bring back Marvel. Doesn't he look just like Annette Bening? Doesn't he look just like... I feel like I'm looking at a picture of Annette Bening, because Annette Bening played him in the movie. So here's Thor and Iron Man, talking about Adam Warlock, Moondragon, who is a disturbed, troubled person who still respects Adam Warlock. I guess wind is blowing on this asteroid, and here lies Adam Warlock, Godslayer, savior of two worlds and tormented soul. May he now be at peace. He was created in 1967 in the Thor comic, and he died in 1977. And there's the soul gem, just on top of Adam Warlock's grave. Now what do we do? Pally, Earth is safe. Thanos is beaten. We're heading home. Why the long face? It's Warlock. I didn't know him well, but I've got this feeling that we lost something today that we may never see again. Yeah, well, maybe. But I'd rather think that whatever it was that ended here tonight sort of started a new and better beginning somewhere else. Come on, kid. Let's see if this flying hotel has got a coffee pot brewing somewhere. It's been a long... So that's what I mean. The thing is a cornerstone. Spider-Man's troubled. It doesn't matter you made him eat his cigar. He comforts you, and he's thinking about what matters. What matters right now? Let's get a cup of coffee and chill and relax, okay? I just love that about the Thing. He's very, grounded, Granted, he's made out of rock, so he's grounded. And here he goes back to his idyllic world with his love, and then also surrounded by the people that he killed. Some of them unintentionally, some of them intentionally. And then Pip the Troll, the third wheel. He goes, looks like we'll just have to get used to living here in paradise without any strife, pains, or problems. Together, I think we'll manage. So do I. And they're all happy. And here's Thanos. What of Thanos, Master Order? He, Lord Chaos, is determined to spend infinity trapped within the petrified form of his own corruption, lamenting the waste he has made of his days, and weeping for a love unfulfilled. So, here's, look at that, Fantastic Four Annual 12. That was so good with the Inhumans. And this. And that's it. This was, there we go. I've seen this ad before. This was amazing. This was so good. And this sowed the seed for all of the Marvel movies, as you can see. And of course, we all know Thanos doesn't stay dead. Adam Warlock doesn't stay dead, because after this we have the Infinity War story. But you have a guy who's in control of a soul gem, so he's got it out. And Thanos, I think one of his worshippers, they say that he had cells, and they build a body, and they transfer his consciousness over, and then Thanos uses his power to animate the stone body until the Silver Surfer destroys it. So the Thanos from this was the last time Thanos had his original body. After that, he's a manufactured being. So is it the same being? Is this being dead, and the clone is just a facsimile? That's for philosophers to decide. And that's what all children who read comic books are. They're philosophers. And so many comic books made me ponder so many cool things. And that's what I think Jack Kirby was, Jim Starlin was, this wonderful, childlike, natural philosophy. Now I'm waxing poetic. You got me. But that's what comic books do. A good comic book will get somebody to imagine and think of things and open up their mind. And this comic did that. That's why Jim Starlin's one of my favorites. Jack Kirby. I could go on and on and on and on about, George Perez and John Byrne. Garth Ennis, who ponders things more in an earthy, realistic manner rather than this cosmic, philosophical stuff. Stan Lee, of course. It goes on and on, and that's why I love comics. It's just pure imagination. It's mental exploration. It's thinking of things. It's so good. But anyway, you got me ranting and raving, but because I'm a lunatic. But this is Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Well, this has Spider-Man, so I hope my friend Mark is satisfied. I'm still trying to find Spider-Man. My comic collection is messed up, and I didn't really do any organizing today. I just came home from work beat. I was working nights last week, and now I'm on day shifts this week, and I'm just kind of discombobulated. But anyway, enough about me. So good. so good. I imagine this comic is probably pretty expensive because of Thanos and the Soul Gem, and I imagine it's only going to get more expensive once Adam Warlock officially debuts in the Marvel movies. But it is so good. I'm sure you can get it in a collection somewhere. But I highly recommend it. So good, so much fun. Top of the line comic. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go looking. Somebody requested Punisher. I know where the Punishers are, so I could get Punisher. All right, thanks a lot. Bye bye.